What's up guys, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jeff, and behind us today is a model A22Q.
This is shown in our matte black, metallic black. It's one of my favorite color combinations, shown with our Harbor Stone gray interior. What kind of power does this have on the back?
This has a Mercury 150 horsepower outboard on the back. Steering is going to be your electrical XPA steering. Great system back there.
Come with us, we're going to walk through this boat and show you everything this A has to offer.
All right, so now that we're up here in the bow, this feels like a lot of space.
You got a ton. You can sit 3 on each bench, or you can fully lay out. Yeah. Jeff and I are both 6'1". We've got plenty of room here. Great for cruising down the water, just lounging and hanging out. What's your favorite feature about the bow?
Again, it's the bow gates. You know, the glass see-through gate.
Oh, it's great.
The visibility on these gates is incredible. You know, whether you're pulling up to your dock, just out in the water, whatever it may be, it's one of my favorite features across the board.
Oh, my dog Reginald loves to look out that. He's a bulldog, so he can't swim very well, but he loves checking out the water. It's great for him and viewing. One of my favorite features is the recessed cup holders though. You know, depending on where your sun coverage is, or if you have our optional double Bimini, this can help keep drinks protected out of the sun, keeps them colder longer. You're not advertising to anybody that you might be having a little bit too much fun on the boat. But then one of my other features is wet sounds. Are you familiar with wet sounds?
Yeah, wet sounds. Most of the time you'll see that as an audio upgrade, but on the Alera Model A, that's where it starts. That's how we do it as a standard.
Well, one thing I really like about what we've done with the Model A is we've brought that audio off the ground. Traditionally in pontoons, you will see ankle audio that I like to call, but you can't hear it unless you have it absolutely cranked. This, we've brought it up into your lumbar area, that if you're throttled down with that Merc 150 and you're cruising, you can actually hear the tunes, and the tunes stay with the passengers. It's just clearer, better, and quite frankly, more protected audio, so you don't have an accident of kicking in a speaker grill.
Now let's move to the middle of the boat.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, so we're up here now in the Helm. Again, this is a very comfortable space.
Take me through the gauges here. This seems more than what you typically get in an entryway into boating.
Most of your analog gauges are going to have just 3 simple functions, right? And we've got about 3 functions per gauge here. So you've got RPMs, voltmeter, fuel meter, and it also has an hour reader on here.
Important.
You do have the depth gauge in the middle. That's, again, standard equipment here. You don't need to get a graph.
This is all standard.
All standard equipment. You don't need to get the additional graph just to read that out. And then you've got the speedometer as well as the trim gauge. So everything that you could need is right here ready for you.
That's great. Well, and then also the one thing you'll notice is our throttle placement. It's very comfortable. Again, Jeff's 6'1", his high back captain chair that is standard, that's normally an upgrade. It does come standard with a seat slide. So to get him to be most comfortable in his captaining position, he can move forward or back away from the helm as he sees fit for his height.
Again, you'll find a fiberglass helm here. We stick with fiberglass throughout all of our offerings. A lot of times in the market, you'll start to see Rotomold get into this price point. We want to keep with our premium finishes. Another thing here, tilt wheel, another big one. Small thing, but a big thing. This is so with taller guys like myself, you get in here, the steering wheel's not going to be in your knee when you need it out of the way.
Well, and it seems like you have a ton of foot space up here to extend your legs.
Ton of space.
Tell me a little bit about the cubby. That's you know, this is a feature that we bring throughout the A's and the M's. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, so this space typically is wasted, and we found a way to use it here at Alera. So this is just an open compartment where you just can simply toss your stuff. You know, keys, phone, wallet, whatever you need.
Always need more space.
Always need more space. It's out of the sun, so your stuff's protected. It's not going to overheat. And then if you need it, you've got your phone charging ports in there, and 12 volts as well.
Okay, awesome. And then obviously right here, you've got your analog switches to control everything, as well as your Bluetooth, AM/FM, wet sounds head unit.
Correct. Yep. Head unit controls the audio system throughout here, and then you also have the control for your RGB light system.
Yeah,
which again is standard on the A's.
The RGBs is.
Correct.
You want to take us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically toe kicks of all the benches, and then along the tops of the tube. So your exterior lights and interior lights is going to be standard across the board. So you've got red, green, blue, and any combination of the 3.
Yeah, and that's really big. So most manufacturers make you pay an a la carte item of RGBs, and some of those features get very, very costly. We've opted here at Alera to build those in standard to give you that premium feature in this mid-level price point. So another thing I do want to hit on while we're at the helm is your controls for your power Bimini. So this is a 10-foot power Bimini, ultimate shade, ultimate convenience at a push of a button.
So back in the stern half of this boat, the first thing you're going to notice is Jordan's polka dot socks.
Well, you know, these are my Easter socks, but you got your teal, you got your pink. But like Jeff said, we are in the rear of the boat. On our 22-foot floor plans, our benches are the same in the front and the back. Yep. They're repeated. So all that room you saw us sprawled out on up front is the same in the back. You'll also notice Jeff's favorite feature is also back here.
That's right. Once again, your glass gates. So this is great, especially if you're pulling tubers, from the captain's chair. You can look back and see everything that's going on, not only around the motor, but out in the water beyond it. So another great feature.
Well, what I really like about it is trim, right? Of course, you have your trim gauges, at your helm and at your command, but every once in a while, I'm still that old school guy that likes to look back and check. So that transparency for safety and just usability out on the water is so much better than what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Follow us to the back of the boat. Guys, we're on the back of the boat now. We're going to take you through a few favorite features. One of mine being the stainless steel ski tow bar. So this is rated for skiing, of course, and as well tubing. This is bolted through the chassis to the cross member to take anything you throw at it. Why don't you take us through this fuel fill? I want to talk about how convenient it is, and is it the same as the Model M and the Model A, or are they two different platforms?
It's the same system, just shown in a different spot here. So once again, easily accessible. It's right here, just below hip high.
Still incredibly convenient.
Still convenient, whether the boat's on a trailer or if you're pulling up to the dock. Either way, it's going to be really easy to fill your boat. You're not going to stand on your head to do it. Yeah.
So let's talk about why we've opted to bring the fuel fill off the deck or higher up. Can you tell the audience why we're doing that?
So it's a gravity fed system into our tanks. So whether you're on the Model M with the 70-gallon tank, the Model A with the 50-gallon tank here, what that's going to do, that's going to help eliminate the splashback that you typically get when you're filling your boat, right? So it's all running straight down into the bottom of the boat to fill your tank, and you're not going to have to worry about any gas splashing back on you or on the deck. It's going to keep you cleaner and keep your boat better.
So you'll also notice how much room we have back here. So whether you have gas tanks back here, filling at the fuel fill that Jeff just talked about, or you just want to kick your tootsies in the water, just hang out, whatever it is, you've got space to do that. But there's been a product improvement from Lippert that I do want to talk about real quick. It's often overlooked in the Power Bimini segment because they do so many good things, but they have gone to a clamp system on their lights. But this is such a better feature. In the past, your anchor lights had just a screw that would pull off and pull on. Well, maybe you've had too much fun on the lake that day, or you're tired, you drop that, it falls in the water, you have no way to connect your Bimini light. This is such a great product improvement from the Sure Shade division of Lippert Components. It's such an overlooked feature that I absolutely love on these Power Biminis.
Another premium feature back here, you've got the Lippert wide step ladder. So
awesome.
This thing's great, a lot of cool features to it.
Tons of room.
It's in the name, but the top steps are wider. You've got more steps going down in the water, makes getting in and out a breeze.
Well, and it's so easy to deploy, to activate and deploy. Just all around, it's a great feature that's standard on the Model A's and Model M's.
Yep. And your dogs can use it.
It's just a great feature. But one thing we haven't talked about, we briefly mentioned it earlier in this video, was the Mercury power. You want to take us through a little bit of this?
Yeah, so we are exclusively partnered with Mercury, and it's for a good reason. If you need performance, you need a good motor, that's going to be a quiet motor, it's going to be reliable, you're going to work on Mercury.
Well, the nice thing about Mercury too is they are the market share leader in outboards. If God makes it, it's going to die. If humans make it, it's going to break. If an opportunity does arise, you've got more certified Mercury dealers throughout the country than any other outboard.
Yep. More support across the board.
More reliability.
Yep.
So moving off the Mercury outboard, the other thing we want to talk about is our optional XPA steering. So this won an innovation award at IBEX a few years back from our partners at Dometic. This is a fantastic system. We've obviously gotten to drive many. We actually pre-designed our chassis to make sure we fit this electric actuator. So what this does is this gives you the feel of power assist at a much more cost-effective option. So whether you're running a 150 or a 200 and you don't want to spend that extra upgrade cost, this is an option to give you that fingertip steering.
And we've driven a lot of boats out here, a lot of different power sources, a lot of different steering mechanisms. When you're talking about the difference between your power assist steering and this one here, it takes a very careful eye to notice a difference, and it's very slight if you do notice it.
Yeah, it's a great system. Like I said, this is an option on our A's. It's available to 200 horsepower mark and down, but it's perfect if you have those dealers that know, have a fine line cut off between power assist, DTS, and non, this gives you an option. And you know, if you're a consumer that's looking just for a little bit more ease of use, this is the answer.
All right, let's dive into the construction and exterior of this boat. Back here at the exterior of the boat, you're going to notice, once again, on theme for Alera, we've got the 2.5-inch thick rails. We do these thicker rails not only to make the whole structure stronger, but it eliminates the need to have all your vertical supports all throughout the rails here.
And going back to just convenient boating, right? When you have all these vertical uprights, that's a great place for spiders to just completely web out your boat. It gets annoying when you're going every 2 inches to clean.
Your corner.
Yeah, right. So this one, you can just do massive wide swipes with your towel, your rag while you're cleaning your boat. Just makes it easier to clean up from an actual boat owner perspective, which is how we've tried to design this entire product portfolio. As Jeff said, this is one of our favorite color combinations that we've shown. This is your matte black main paired with your metallic black. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but when you get some light onto that metallic, you'll actually see that thing open up. So on the water, you get that real nice reflective metallic color. Guys, now at the front of the boat, we're going to talk about one of the premium features at Alera, and one of the most important features, which is the composite deck.
Composite deck on this is a standard across the board, all offerings on Alera. It is a one-piece composite deck, so this is going to be half the weight of marine grade plywood, and it's twice as strong. You know, a lot of people aren't using it simply because of the cost of it. It's not cheaper to use, but it's better for your ride. Being one piece, you eliminate all the floor seams. The boat can flex as one unit, which increases your performance. A lot of benefits to this stuff.
Yeah, and it's actually more quieter out in the water. The one thing that we've constantly heard from consumers is how quiet our ride is, and we're here to prove it. More to come in that segment later, but you know, at boat shows, in the comments, on the forums, we've heard a lot about marine grade plywood. Well, everybody uses it and you don't. It's tried, true, and tested. My challenge to you would be talk to your dealers or any OEM partner and truly ask the question, how many boats a year have to be redecked because of marine grade plywood? And I think that answer will surprise you more than you would ever think about. So now going back into the construction a little bit more, the widest part of cross member spacing is 16 on center, but on average, we're more like 13.5 throughout the boat. These are comprised of triple hollow and C-channel cross members. So that triple hollow, for a visual reference, is basically 4 I-beams combined with vertical walls. It's incredibly robust. The thing's gonna take anything you throw at it. And we overbuild this chassis, and then we actually add a 360-degree bumper.
Yep, and that bumper is a huge one. So what that is you have a lot of people reinforcing the bow, some people reinforcing the stern. We take that extension across the entire boat.
And this is welded on.
Welded on, welded to every cross channel. If you're familiar, if you've been a boater, you know that if you're tied up at the sandbar or at the dock, if something bumps into the side of your boat, that deck trim is very vulnerable and it's easily caved in. There's no support behind it. You've got a 2 or 3 inch gap between it and the cross channels. With this bumper, that deck trim is right up against this bumper, reinforced, don't have to worry about it.
Guys, we have talked about a ton of features out on this boat. Jeff's favorites, my favorites. We've been so excited about the feedback we've received from the consumer, as well as the dealer. Everybody's just been blown away by how this boat handles on the water. You gotta test one for yourself.
It's an overbuilt chassis, it's a comfortable interior, it's the whole package, everything you need and more.
So to find out more about this A or anything else in the Alera Marine category, please visit us at aleramarine.com. Check us out on our socials and visit your local dealer.